I'm going to call on you one at a time. What is the top issue in the news these days that concerns you the most? Answer the one issue that concerns you the most that's in the news these days. I have one.
I guess inflation.
I want to call on you. Hang on a
Oh,
second.
okay. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Okay. Charles, you've gone first. Inflation.
There's this inflation.
Okay. David?
Probably the border.
Ashley?
Yeah, I would agree. Inflation.
Sherry?
Inflation.
Kelly?
Inflation.
All right. So 4 inflation, 1 border. I'm going to ask you to broaden your thinking a little bit and your horizons a little bit. What do you consider to be the biggest threat to your long-term future, like 20 or 30 years from now?
Maybe Social Security.
Hang on a second. No, let me
Okay.
quick call.
Sorry.
That's all right. Does everybody have one? Kelly, you have one?
I'm concerned where Social Security is going to be. If there's going to be anything left.
Okay. Charles, you have
Yeah.
the same.
Yes.
Okay. Sherry, what do you have?
I'd almost say the safety of the country.
And what threat though? What is the
Foreign threats.
Ashley?
The national debt could definitely threaten me in 20 years.
David?
Well, it's probably still the border with, letting so many people in that aren't paying taxes that we're having to cover. That's doing all the said other inflation and debt and.
Okay. So I'd like you all to stop and think for a moment on this next question. I will call on you one at a time. What is the top issue in the news these days that concerns you the most? Top issue that concerns you the most. Everybody have one? You all do? Okay. Janelle, what's yours?
Mine for here, as like the United States, would probably be healthcare, but overall, it's just the genocide, the support of the genocide.
Okay. Adila?
Yes, the support of the war, that he cares more what Israel thinks of him than his people that voted for him.
Okay. Anthony?
Think of him.
Inflation in the economy.
Inflation, okay. Teresa?
Housing,
What about housing?
to afford a home.
Okay. Housing affordability.
Yes.
Okay. Carrie?
Women's reproductive rights.
Okay. Follow-up question. Separate from what you're thinking about as a concern right now, what do you consider to be the biggest threat to your long-term future, meaning 20 or 30 years from now? The biggest threat to your long-term future.
The reproductive.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Please let me call on you. Everybody have one? You do. Okay. Carrie, what's yours?
Lack of affordable health care when I hit senior citizen age.
Okay. Teresa?
I was going to say healthcare as well, universal healthcare.
Okay. Anthony?
The environment.
All right. Janelle?
I would say the environment as well, and what was it called? And my income, because you never know.
Adila?
The women's rights because for the future generation.
Just on the women's rights thing, so Carrie and Phil, you just made reference to this. You're both seriously considering voting for a third-party candidate. Am I understanding that you're both? I'm making a leap
Yes.
here, stop me if I'm wrong. That you're both pro-choice. Is that fair?
I am, yes.
Yes.
Adele? Okay. So just out of curiosity, President Biden would make the case that if you don't vote for him, you're keeping the current Supreme Court decision about abortion in place. So that decision has a chance of being overturned only if you vote for him and he nominates Supreme Court justices who can get it reversed. And that's why you should vote for him. Does that argument hold any weight for the two of you?
No.
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 Why not?
Because of the killings of innocent kids that are already born.
Okay. So basically the issue of what's happening overseas in the Middle East is more important to you than possibly overturning the current status quo on abortion.
Yes, because I hit certain age, so I'm not gonna have any kids. I am gonna hit menopause in a few years, and I am good to go. We are from Europe, so we can go ahead and go to Europe to take care of whatever we need to take care of.
Got it. Okay. So the
I
issue
have
matters.
Mhm.
Fair. So the issue matters, but not that much.
The issue matters because it was there to begin with, and they throw us back 100 years back to the cavemen.
Okay.
Because of some, religious region, but yet we're looking at all these kids and all these people getting killed, but we're not religious about that. We don't
Okay.
believe in God and that.
Okay. But reversing the Dobbs decision is not as important to you as getting rid of Biden and what he's doing in the Middle East. Is that am I hearing that right?
Yes.
Okay. Carrie, explain to me briefly if you could.
Yeah, so I don't feel that would be a good enough reason alone to elect Biden. I mean, again, he has the right to, nominate the next Supreme Court justice, but they still have to be approved by the Senate and the House. So it's not as though he has this overall power. If that's the case, then he can issue an executive order to overturn their decision at all. So that can be done by any candidate based on the research that they do about the next nominees coming up for the Supreme Court. It's nothing specific to Biden.
Okay. So Biden wouldn't have any particular power when it comes to the Supreme Court in a second term?
I mean, it's not as though he can appoint them to the Supreme Court, so no.
Okay. Got it. And it's not
He's
worth
not doing anything now.
But hang on a second. But Carrie, so just so I understand, the possibility that he could replace some conservative justices in a second term with more liberal ones, that's not a reason to vote for him.
That can be done by either party, though. That can be done by any of the four candidates. So it's not something specific to Biden. No.
Okay, but Biden's argument would be the only other person who has a realistic chance of becoming president is Trump, and he's going to do nothing to change the abortion laws to loosen them up. So if you want to see looser abortion laws, you got to vote for me as president. I'm the only candidate who has a realistic chance of winning and having the ability to do that. And that's not a compelling argument to you.
No, because
No. I'm asking Carrie. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's not a compelling argument. No.
All right, got it. Okay, thank you. Thanks for letting me take that little detour there.
Sure.
All right.